Hey everyone, Jolt2 here, and welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to be talking about, well, the winners of my 100 subscriber mock contest. Sorry this took so long to come out. I just really wanted to do voiceover and hadn't had any time to actually do it. Anyway, let's get on with the list. I got 5 submissions, but I'm only going to count 3 of them because the other 2 we're kind of tied. I might do an honorable mentions. Alright, let's go into it. Alrighty then, in 3rd place is, well, you can already see his face on the screen, Celestial Raynarth. I mean, it's a bit too Drazen slash, what's his name, Cosmic Zeres mashed together, but I actually quite like this design. From what I could tell, he might have some torso waist articulation, and overall, the color scheme is pretty solid, and there isn't too much gappiness. I mean, there are a couple sections where the colors seem a bit off. Unfortunately, one of those areas is the head, because you have Mata Red on top of white, and while there is white on the mock, the only other red I see is dark red or Metro Red. So, it's pretty solid, kind of all over the place, but it works in my opinion. Though its inspirations, it's kind of obvious, but that still doesn't make it a bad mock, and it's a lot less messy than some of Met Productions' other mocks. Anyway, so let's move on to number 2. Predisculus. I have no idea if I pronounced this girl mecha thing's name wrong, but hey, by Meep 199, it's Predisculus. Alright, let's talk about what I actually like about this mock. For one, those legs and that torso are pretty darn perfect. The shaping is really good, kind of reminds me of a Michael Bay Transformer. Whether that's good or bad in someone's opinion, that's the point. I like the design. It has very nice knee armor, and the lower legs are pretty cool. Though I do have to say that the giant gear spike power miners wheel feet things are a bit off-putting, but overall it works really well. And the torso itself looks really nice and really good use of those wheel pieces. And I also like the shoulder pads. The shaping is really good. My only problem isn't that Meep went really unique with the arm design. It's that I kind of feel like there's one, either not enough of the arms, or 2, the arms aren't long enough. The arms look really good with their color schemes. The entire color scheme is very consistent, consisting of a black and transparent green. And while it stays really consistent, though I'm not sure what's in that cockpit thing. I'm kind of not. Can't really tell if there's anything in it. It looks like it might be a mask piece, but I'm really not sure. But overall, the mock design is really nice. Though that very short 2-axle piece that's on the center chest, as you can see, it kind of breaks up the shaping a bit, but overall it works. And its design is really cool. Yet the arms, I don't know, maybe it's just that I'm biased and like my arms to be nice humanoid arms. And while the arms do look good, it's kind of odd. I mean, it kind of reminds me of some Evangelion stuff, which I recently watched. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, so moving on to the winner of the mock contest, because, you know, these 2 mocks are pretty good. So here we have Su whatever. Okay, so Mary Sue here is the winner of the 100 subscriber Titan mock contest. And I think the reasons why I like it are pretty simple. It has a really nice color scheme, has plenty of greeveling, and also, while it can look a bit very odd in some positions, the overall solidness and how much gappiness is there, which is pretty limited, works really nicely, and I like it. Though I have to say, the arms seem a bit thin sometimes, and all the CCBS bones just stacked up upon each other. A bit too many CCBS just stacked up upon each other. It's a bit either too thin, or just so many, kind of weird, I don't know, having multiple joints that don't exist, though I do like that she has shoulders. The hair design is really nice and unique. I've never seen anything like it. The use of the tube in the center of the torso, it works really well to fill in the gaps. The color scheme is very consistent. I don't really find anything off about this Moc. The back looks really nice. In fact, the back kind of looks like it would be a pretty good front for a torso. One of the things that I don't like, however, are the legs. The lower legs, they're connected to Hordeca necks, which, if you don't know, have, instead of the Couturier neck, they have the ball joint kind of kinked off to the side, and it just kind of limits posing, and it looks like the Moc can only really bend the knees inwards and not too far backwards unless you want some really weird looking things. And overall, the coverage is good for the leg armor, but there's these red axles in both the jaw and the legs, and while the legs are from the back so you won't see them, the jaw, it's very noticeable considering it's right next to a translite blue stud. And overall, I actually still like the Moc, though the torso from some angles can look better. But the only reason I'm putting this above, how the heck do you pronounce that, Predisculus, is just the general aesthetic. While the other one was smooth and kind of looked Hero Factory, even though it was supposed to be a Dark Hunter in the Bionicle universe, this thing, while it uses a ton of CBS, kind of fits more Bionicle. And I don't know why, I just kind of prefer that style of aesthetic. Though the head, Grax the Wanderer, who made this Moc, put the Breeze Brain Attack headpiece, and it kind of looks weird as it, from one angle, it kind of just creates this big gap, but otherwise it looks really nice. And I think the real reason why I like this Moc is I like the use of colors. And while Predisculus did have some nice colors, this one just has, I don't know, the shaping with the colors just kind of works a bit better. Predisculus is kind of just a big hulking monster thing, which is cool, but this one has, I guess, more of a unique feel. I mean, they're both unique. Predisculus probably more so with those arms, but it's, I don't know, it's pretty much a close call. I think it just comes down to personal preference. I like the gauntlets on this one, even though it's only one of them, and the symmetry kind of bothers me. But just all the spikes and the general aesthetic, I like this one better. That's the only reason this one won the Moc Contest. Alright, so next up, honorable mentions. Okay, so on the honorable mentions roll by Solek Man, okay. By Solek, we have Croesus, Colossus of Doom. It looks okay, bit skinny in the arms and decently cool hands. Colors are okay. Symmetry is okay. There's a couple annoying open ball joints. It has pretty decent height. Definitely a Titan. The silver and gold and black don't always look too great, and they kind of just look very off in this Moc. Both with the gray, so much gray, but also the black. It's really skinny. And it looks pretty okay. The use of the Hero Factory chest plate actually looks good. But overall, Plus there's this random bit of gunmetal gray. Yeah, I don't know. Just a bit too messy. Doesn't quite work. It looks good. The legs are okay. It's a good Moc. Totally doesn't feel copied. Anyway, that's what I think of this Moc. Alright, moving on to the next honorable mentions. And here we have Repuk, the Plasma Giant. Definitely a Titan, but okay. Its design is very stumpy and kind of Norse mythology dwarfish. The color scheme doesn't really work all that well. I mean, you have two 2015 Skull Villains, Skull Wave, whatever they're called, armor add-ons on the knees, and gunmetal gray fingers, and then one gunmetal gray shoulder pad, but it's not that greatly distributed. The torso, The paint job isn't all that great. I can't really tell if it's paint or clay that's been plastered. Not clay, what putty that's kind of stuck on. I can't really tell. The torso isn't that great. I mean, there's some waist articulation, but it looks way too thin. He kind of just looks awkwardly proportioned. His head looks like it barely has any mobility, probably less than 2015 Liwa. And the pose that Ivex the Awesome, the creator of this mock, put it in, isn't the most, let's say, good looking. So if it looks good in any poses, I wouldn't know. Anyway, it's a pretty decent mock. It's better than Croesus, but not as good as the other mocks on this list. I also just know that in the photo that I'm using to show you this, guys, there's the XLR V5. That has nothing to do. Alright, time to announce the prizes, even though I never announced that there would be prizes in the first place. And those things are... Prize time! Third place winner gets... nothing! I'm joking. Third place winner gets to decide whatever BioTuber they want me to make a video where I make fun of them. That's what third place gets. Second place gets nothing! I'm joking. Second place gets a decision on if I make a live action or a stop motion skit video. So a live action one will be similar to something like LJ does for his TTV recent recap whatever reviews. And, well, stop motion will just be a stop motion skit. You've seen plenty of those. And number one will get, drumroll please, nothing! I'm joking. They get to decide whether I do a mock review of a character that I have not revealed yet for my second series, yes, that is happening, or a lore video for Rise of the Demons. Whatever you decide will be what comes out first. Alright, so this is Rigel2. Do whatever you want in the comments. This is Rigel2 signing out. See you guys next time.